Mom and Dad have decided all 8 rental properties in Florida go to me. Tegan, you'll get Grandma's jewelry, about $5,000 worth. That's fair, right? Everyone was staring at me, waiting for me to cry, to beg, to make a scene. The lawyer slid the inheritance paperwork across the table. My brother smirked. My parents wouldn't make eye contact. I smiled. Because what they didn't know, what Dad somehow forgot, is that Grandma and I had been planning for this exact moment for 5 years. Every Sunday dinner, every document, every strategy session in her kitchen while they were busy ignoring me. We built something they never saw coming. You forgot one thing, didn't you, Dad? I own those properties. All 8 of them. Have since 2021. Now let me take you back. 5 years earlier. 2020. I was 23, fresh out of college, working 2 jobs trying to pay off student loans. Grandma Eleanor was 78, living alone in her Tampa condo, managing 8 rental properties she'd built over 40 years. Sharp as ever. Tougher than most people half her age. Every Sunday I'd drive an hour to have dinner with her. Not because I had to, because she was the only person in my family who actually saw me. While my brother Chris got the college fund, the new car, Dad's business connections, I got lectures about being more like him. Grandma saw through it. Always had. One Sunday in March, she pulled out a leather journal. Inside, dates going back 15 years. Every time my parents favored Chris. Every graduation they missed of mine but attended for him. Every birthday gift, dollar amount listed. Every family vacation I wasn't invited to. She'd been documenting the favoritism for over a decade. Why? I asked her. Why keep track? She closed the journal, poured us both tea. Then she told me a story I'd never heard before. 1995. Her sisters stole their mother's jewelry collection worth over $100,000. Grandma had no proof, no documentation. The family sided with her sister because she was the favorite. Grandma got nothing. Not the jewelry, not even an apology. That taught me something, Tegan. Family will take everything if you let them, and they'll convince themselves they deserve it. So you document, you prepare, you protect yourself before you need to. She asked me a question that changed everything. Do you think your parents will treat you fairly when I'm gone? I wanted to say yes. I wanted to believe that when it mattered, they'd see me. But sitting there, looking at 15 years of evidence in her handwriting, I couldn't lie. No, Grandma, I don't think they will. Good. She smiled. Then we're going to make sure they can't. That Sunday, we started building what she called our fortress. Not revenge, protection. She'd worked too hard for 40 years to let her own son steal from her granddaughter the way her sister had stolen from her. We had 5 tools. She'd teach me each one, and we'd use every single tool to make sure what was hers would become mine, legally, irrevocably, untouchably mine. The first tool? Documentation. That journal became mine. I started my own. Every interaction with my family, every time they chose Chris over me, every comment, every dismissal, dates, times, witnesses. You don't think you'll need it until you do. And by then, it's too late to start. Tool number 2 came 6 months later, the Living Trust Amendment. Grandma had set up a living trust in 2005, standard estate planning. But living trusts have a feature most people don't use. You can amend them. Transfer assets while you're still alive. Change beneficiaries. Change trustees. All perfectly legal. September 2020, we sat in her estate attorney's office. Patricia Monroe, 30 years of trust law experience. She walked us through every page, 14 pages total. The amendment transferred all 8 rental properties from the trust to me. Not when Grandma died. Right then. Immediately. I became both beneficiary and trustee. Is this legal in Florida? I asked. Patricia didn't blink. Completely legal. Your grandmother is mentally competent. This is her property, and she has the right to transfer it to anyone she chooses. You'll need to file it with the county, get it notarized. But once it's done, these properties are yours. Your parents can't contest it. Your brother can't claim them. They're no longer part of the estate. 1 week later, the amendment was filed, notarized, recorded. 8 properties. $1.4 million in assets. Mine. My parents had no idea. My brother had no idea. And Grandma made sure we had the paper trail to prove it. Tool number 3 came next. The video will. Patricia suggested it. A new trend in estate law. Record a video of yourself stating your intentions. It's not legally required, but it's powerful evidence if anyone tries to claim you were coerced or incompetent. We recorded it in November 2020, 12 minutes long. Grandma, sitting in her living room, clear-eyed, sharp-minded, explaining exactly why she transferred the properties. She talked about the favoritism, named specific examples with dates. She talked about her sister's betrayal, why she refused to let history repeat. She looked directly into the camera and said, "I am of sound mind and body, making these decisions freely. My son favored one grandchild for their entire lives. I will not reward that behavior. Tegan has been faithful. She earns what I give her." We stored 3 copies, 1 with Patricia, 1 in a safe deposit box, 1 in cloud storage. If anyone questioned it, we had her own words, her face, her voice, unedited, undeniable. Tool number 4 got more complicated, financial forensics. By 2021, I'd started noticing something strange. Grandma's rental income, she'd show me the spreadsheets sometimes. 8 properties generating roughly $12,000 a month in rental income. But when she'd ask my dad to help with the bookkeeping, the numbers he reported were lower. Much lower. "He's your son," I said carefully. "Maybe I'm wrong." "Numbers don't lie, Tegan. People do. Let's find out which one he is." We hired a forensic accountant. Independent. No family connection. 6 months of painstaking analysis, bank statements, rental income records, property management reports, tax filings. The accountant found a pattern going back 7 years. Dad had been managing Grandma's properties, collecting rent checks, depositing them, then transferring money out to himself, claiming property expenses that didn't exist, maintenance that was never done, $200,000 over 7 years, systematic theft from his own mother. The accountant gave us a 53-page report. Every transaction, every fraudulent expense, every forged signature. I watched Grandma read it. She didn't cry, didn't yell, just nodded slowly and said, "I wondered why he cared so much about helping me. Now I know." Tool number 5 came next. The legal memo. Patricia filed it preemptively with the probate court, before Grandma died, outlining the trust amendment, the video will, the financial forensics report, establishing a timeline of Dad's embezzlement and stating clearly that any contest to the trust would be met with a cross-claim for elder financial abuse, theft, fraud, possibly criminal charges. It sat there, filed, waiting. A bomb that wouldn't go off unless they challenged us. If they accepted the trust and walked away, the memo stayed buried. If they fought us, we'd detonate it. Dad would lose more than the properties. He'd lose everything. 5 tools, 5 years of Sundays, 5 years of strategy sessions in Grandma's kitchen. We didn't just hope I'd be treated fairly. We made sure I couldn't be cheated. Paper beats promises. Every single time. July 2024. Grandma had a stroke. Massive. The doctors said it was quick. She didn't suffer. That's supposed to be comforting. It's not. One morning she was making coffee. Texted me about Sunday dinner plans. 2 hours later, she was gone. I got the call from the hospital. Not my parents. Not my brother. A nurse who found my number listed as her emergency contact. I drove to Tampa, sat in a waiting room that smelled like disinfectant and burnt coffee. When they finally let me see her, she was already gone. Just a body. The woman who'd spent 5 years protecting me, teaching me, loving me, she wasn't there anymore. I called my parents, told them. My mom cried. My dad went silent. Chris texted me, "Are you handling the arrangements?" I stared at that text for 5 minutes. Not, "I'm sorry." Not, "Are you okay?" Just a delegation of responsibility. The funeral was small. Grandma wanted it that way. No big production, just the family, a few friends from her church. I gave the eulogy, talked about her strength, her humor, how she made the best key lime pie in Florida, how she never missed one of my college plays even though it was an hour drive each way. I didn't mention the properties, didn't mention the tools, didn't mention what we'd built together. After the service, we went back to my parents' house. Extended family, neighbors, people who barely knew her. My brother held court in the living room, telling everyone about Grandma's properties. 8 rental units. Great investment. He talked about them like they were already his, like she'd died and left him a gift. My dad cornered me in the kitchen. "We need to talk about the estate, Tegan. I'm the executor. We'll need to go through probate. It'll take a few months, but it should be straightforward." I nodded. "Okay. The properties will probably go to Chris. He's in a better position to manage them. You'll get some personal items, maybe a small cash bequest. Fair?" I looked at him. Really looked at him. This was the man who'd stolen $400,000 from his own mother, who'd spent my entire life choosing my brother over me, who was now trying to steal my inheritance while pretending it was fairness. I didn't argue. Didn't correct him. Just said, "We'll see what the will says, Dad." 2 weeks later, the estate attorney called a meeting. Required for all beneficiaries. My parents. My brother. Me. Patricia's office. Conference room. Mahogany table. Leather chairs. Very official. Very formal. This is where my family expected to carve up Grandma's estate like a birthday cake. Patricia read the small bequests first. Grandma's jewelry to me. About $5,000. The pieces she wore daily. I knew she'd sold her most valuable items years ago, probably to fund the legal strategy. Even her jewelry had a purpose. Some furniture, photo albums. Then she got to the big item. The 8 properties. Regarding the rental properties, Patricia said, "Those assets are not part of the probate estate." Confusion on my dad's face. "What do you mean not part of the estate?" "In September 2020, your grandmother executed a living trust amendment transferring all rental property assets to Tegan Martinez. The properties were transferred at that time. Tegan has been the legal owner and trustee for 4 years. They do not pass through probate." Silence. The kind that feels like pressure in your ears. My brother leaned forward. "That's impossible. Those properties belong to Grandma. They belong to your grandmother," Patricia said calmly. Past tense. She transferred them to Tegan 4 years ago. It's all properly filed, notarized, and recorded with Polk County. My dad stood up. She was manipulated. Mom was old. She didn't understand what she was doing. Patricia slid a thumb drive across the table. "This contains a 12-minute video of your mother recorded in November 2020. In it, she explains her reasoning in detail. She was evaluated by 2 independent physicians who confirmed her mental competency. She knew exactly what she was doing." My brother's face went red. "This is theft. You stole from our family." I spoke for the first time. "I didn't steal anything, Chris. Grandma gave them to me. Because she wanted to. Because I showed up. Because I was there every Sunday for 5 years while you were too busy to visit." You manipulated her, he said. You took advantage of an old woman. That's when Patricia dropped the hammer. If you choose to contest this trust, you should know we've filed a preemptive legal memo with the probate court. It outlines 7 years of financial elder abuse. Mr. Martinez, your father, systematically embezzled approximately $200,000 from Mrs. Martinez while acting as her property manager. We have forensic accounting evidence, bank records, forged signatures. If you contest the trust, we will file criminal charges for elder financial abuse. That's a third-degree felony in Florida. 3 to 5 years in prison. My dad's face went white. That's not... I didn't... You did, I said quietly. We have a 53-page forensic accounting report. Every fraudulent transfer, every fake expense, every forged signature. Grandma knew, Dad. She knew for 3 years, and she didn't press charges because you were her son. But if you try to take what she gave me, I will. I'll give that report to the state attorney. You'll lose more than the properties. You'll lose everything. The room went silent again. Different kind of silence, the kind where everyone realizes the power just shifted. My mother started crying. My brother looked at my dad like he was seeing a stranger. Patricia closed her folder. Very professional, very calm. I recommend you consult with your own attorney before making any decisions, but I should inform you that contesting a properly executed trust when you have no legal standing is expensive, time-consuming, and unlikely to succeed. Mrs. Martinez's video will make her intentions crystal clear. The forensic evidence makes any claim of undue influence impossible to prove. You could spend $100,000 in legal fees and still lose. Plus, face criminal charges. That's my professional assessment. She stood. This meeting is concluded. If you have questions, contact your own counsel. Tegan, can I see you in my office? I followed Patricia out, left my family sitting in that conference room, staring at each other, trying to process what just happened. On the drive home, I thought about what Grandma said 5 years ago. Family will take everything if you let them, and they'll convince themselves they deserve it. She was right. 3 days after the meeting, my mom called. Tegan, honey, can we talk? In person? Just us? We met at a coffee shop, neutral ground. She ordered tea, didn't drink it, just held the cup like it was keeping her warm. I want to understand, she said. Why Grandma did this. Why you didn't tell us. I stirred my coffee, watched the cream swirl. Grandma did it because she saw how you and Dad treated me my entire life. She documented it for 15 years, Mom. Every birthday you missed. Every graduation you skipped. Every time you chose Chris over me. She wrote it all down. Dates. Details. She didn't want her life's work going to people who never valued the person who actually showed up. We didn't mean to favor Chris, she said. You were always so independent. You didn't need us the way he did. That's not true. I needed you. I just stopped asking because the answer was always no. And you never noticed the difference. She cried. I let her. Didn't comfort her. Didn't apologize. Just sat there drinking my coffee. After a few minutes, she wiped her eyes. Your father is devastated. He's talking to lawyers. They're telling him he can't win. But he's so angry. He feels betrayed. He embezzled $400,000 from his own mother, I said. Over 7 years. And you're worried about his feelings? He said that was mismanagement, not theft. The forensic accountant disagrees. So does Patricia. So does Florida law. If he fights me, I file criminal charges. He goes to prison. You lose the house to pay his legal bills. Chris loses his trust fund because there won't be anything left. Is that what you want? No. She was crying harder now. I don't want any of this. I just want my family back. Then accept the trust. Walk away. Let Grandma's decision stand. You'll keep your house. Dad stays out of prison. Chris can build his own life. And I'll have what Grandma wanted me to have. That's the best deal you're going to get. She left without finishing her tea. 2 weeks later, I got a letter from their attorney. Notice of non-contest. They were accepting the trust, not fighting it. It was over. Legally, at least. But here's the thing nobody tells you about winning. It doesn't feel like winning. It feels empty. Grandma was gone. My family hated me. I had 8 properties worth $1.4 million and nobody to celebrate with. Paper beats promises. But sometimes paper is all you have left. I thought about revenge. I could have filed those criminal charges anyway, sent Dad to prison, destroyed their finances, made sure everyone knew what he'd done. Grandma gave me the tools to do it, the forensic report, the legal memo, everything I needed to ruin them completely. But then I remembered something she said. Year 3 of our Sunday dinners. We'd just finished the financial forensics section. I asked her, Grandma, when this is done, do you want me to go after Dad? Make him pay? She thought about it for a long time, poured more tea, finally said, What I want is for you to be free, Tegan. Free from needing their approval, free from their control, free from the fantasy that they'll ever change. Revenge keeps you tied to them. Freedom means walking away with what's yours and never looking back. So that's what I did. Kept the properties, kept the documentation, kept the power to destroy them if they ever came after me again. But I didn't use it. I just walked away. Changed my number. Moved to a different city. Started my own property management company. Built my own life. Without them. Chris tried to reach out once. Email. Said he understood why I was angry, but we were still family. Could we talk? I didn't respond. What would I say? You and Mom and Dad spent 28 years showing me I didn't matter. Grandma spent 5 years proving I did. There's nothing to talk about. 6 months later, I got a letter in the mail. Handwritten. From Grandma. Patricia had it. Instructions to give it to me 6 months after the estate settled. I opened it sitting on my apartment floor. Her handwriting, her words. Dear Tegan, if you're reading this, the trust held. You have the properties. You protected yourself the way I taught you. I'm proud of you. But I want to tell you one more thing. You didn't do anything wrong. They did. Don't carry guilt for protecting what's yours. Don't second-guess the boundaries you set. Family is not blood. It's choice. It's who shows up, who sees you, who protects you. You showed up for me every Sunday for 5 years. That's family. Paper beats promises, but love beats everything. You were loved. You are loved. Never forget that. Love, Grandma Eleanor. I cried. First time since she died. Sitting on my apartment floor holding a letter from a woman who loved me more than my own parents did. She'd planned for this moment too. Knew I'd question myself. Knew I'd wonder if I'd been too harsh. So she left me permission. Permission to walk away. Permission to protect myself. Permission to choose freedom over forgiveness. That letter hangs framed in my office now. Next to the first rent check I ever collected from one of the properties. Next to a photo of Grandma and me from a Sunday dinner in 2022. Reminders, paper beats, promises. But some people keep both. It's 2027 now. 3 years since Grandma died. 5 years since I walked away from my family. The 8 properties are worth $1.9 million. Florida real estate appreciated. I refinanced 3 properties that appreciated the most, used their equity plus cash flow from the others to cover down payments. After 2 years of careful management, I bought 2 smaller rental properties, 10 properties now, generating $18,000 a month in rental income. I have 6 employees, a real office, a business that's mine, built on a foundation Grandma gave me. I see my parents sometimes, unavoidable in a small state. Grocery store, gas station, once at a restaurant. They pretend not to see me. I do the same. Chris got married last year. I saw the announcement on social media. Didn't send a gift. Didn't send a card. Just scrolled past. He made his choice. I made mine. Mom tried to friend me on Facebook 6 months ago. I declined. She sent a message. I miss you. We could try again. Start over. I didn't respond. Starting over requires acknowledging what went wrong. They never did. Never apologized. Never admitted the favoritism. Just wanted to move past it. Pretend it never happened. That's not starting over. That's erasing me again. But here's what I learned. Revenge isn't destroying them. It's building yourself. Every rent check I collect is revenge. Every property I buy is revenge. Every decision I make without their approval, that's the victory. Grandma taught me something most people never learn. You don't owe your future to people who bet against your past. You don't owe your success to people who predicted your failure. You don't owe your peace to people who disturbed it for years. What you owe yourself is protection, boundaries, the courage to walk away from tables where you're not valued. She gave me 5 tools: documentation, legal structures, video evidence, financial forensics, preemptive legal strategies. But the real tool she gave me was permission. Permission to choose myself. Permission to protect what's mine. Permission to build a life where I'm not the second choice, not the afterthought, not the invisible daughter. Just me. Valued. Protected. Free. If you're listening to this and you see yourself in my story, do something today. Start documenting. Open a separate bank account. Talk to a lawyer. Make a plan. Don't wait until it's too late. Don't hope they'll change. Hope is not a strategy. Paper is. Legal protection is. Boundaries are. Your family might surprise you. They might choose you. They might prove worthy of your trust. But if they don't, you'll have protected yourself. And that's not cold. That's not cruel. That's survival. That's wisdom. That's what my grandmother spent 5 years teaching me, and what I'm passing on to you now. 3 months ago, I got an email from a young woman, 24 years old, golden child brother, favoritism her whole life. Grandmother who noticed. She'd watched this story, asked me for advice. I told her what Grandma told me: document everything, find a good estate attorney, build your fortress before you need it. Protect yourself. Last week she emailed me again, said she and her grandmother just filed a living trust amendment. Her parents have no idea. She thanked me, said my story gave her permission to protect herself without guilt. That's when I knew. Grandma's lesson didn't end with me. It's spreading. One granddaughter at a time, one family at a time, one fortress at a time. Paper beats promises, but love beats everything. And the people who truly love you will give you both. If this story helped you see your own family dynamics differently, or gave you the courage to protect yourself, comment toolkit below. I'll pin a comment with the 5 legal strategies Grandma taught me. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, someone being treated like a second choice, share this with them. Sometimes the best gift you can give someone is permission to choose themselves. Coming next, the story of how my sister discovered Dad was using her identity to open credit cards. She was 17. He'd stolen $38,000. And the way she proved it, and the way she made him pay, that's a whole different level of strategic justice. Thank you for listening to Her Revenge Lab.